Hey guys, welcome back. So today we are going to be testing the fruit and vegetable store and the coffee shop inside our M1 location. We're currently sitting inside the coffee shop right now, so you'll get a good idea of what this place is going to look like here. But you'll be surprised to find out how well or not well they end up doing, and I'm honestly a little surprised myself. So be sure to stay tuned. Of course, if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. It always helps out. I truly appreciate everyone who has thus far. And of course, thank you for watching. And if you do end up liking the video, give it a thumbs up. Anyway, guys, let's get started. All right, so we are back in lovely Midtown Manhattan here. We are going to be opening up a fruit and vegetable store today, along with a coffee shop with our other test. So at fruit and vegetable stores, they were buffed a little bit in the most recent patch. They still sell just fruits and vegetables and salads, so really not too expensive of a product to sell. But with that buff that they got, they seem to be doing better than they did ever before. So let's just get this place started up. Let's see. Downloads F and V. There we go. Fruits and vegetables. Perfect. Oop. There we go. All right. And as usual, promotion score is 47%. We got all those things to do here. I don't have any blueprint. However, this should actually be pretty straightforward. It should be all the same thing, aside from the salad bars, obviously. It should be very, very easy to set up. In fact, it'll be very minimalistic, to be quite honest. So let me get this set up here and we can get started on our fruit and veggie store. All right, folks, so this is the interior. We got all the salads in place, all the fruits and veggies in place, all the checkout counters in place. Very simplistic, very straightforward, very easy, to be quite honest with you. So my guess is that we're probably going to do similar amounts of customers within, you know, probably a margin of 100 or 200 people per day as the supermarket. Maybe we will meet the supermarket amounts. I don't know yet, but given that we don't have like sodas or not fast, but fresh or frozen foods, I'm really confident that it's definitely gonna be less overall versus the supermarket. Now, profit-wise, I think we're going to see similar numbers, but again, that's just a guess. I was also surprised that our supermarket did so poorly versus what I was expecting, but maybe we'll see. But yeah, everything's set up. I have all the employees scheduled, which I will show you right here. Everyone is good to go. Got our part-timers on the weekend, of course, as usual, and we're doing 8 to 12. I don't know why it says 8 to 12 p.m. That's a little odd. That seems like it might be a bug, because that should be AM, not PM. That's strange. Anyway, so yeah, let's get the first day under our belt and see what that looks like. All right, guys, day one is completed. So we made $93,519.45 from the first day's business in profit, which is really, really nice. We sold a total amount of $102,683.30. Obviously, as you can see here, apples seem to be our most popular product, salad being our least popular product, clearly. Not too bad. Not gonna lie. First day, not too bad. Now, let's take a look at the actual traffic here. And first day, I was roughly correct. 1,061 customers within the first business day. I don't know if you remember on the supermarket, but that place made, I think it was 1,100 on the first day. I don't remember, but it was making 1,100 consistently. So we'll see whether or not 1,000 is the consistent number, or if this place also meets the 1,100 benchmark. So currently that means on a per hour basis, we're getting 66 customers. We can even see that here. Now, clearly this is because between 9 and 11 o'clock, you know, the customers are trickling in at that point instead of flowing in at the 75 mark. So we still are meeting that 75 mark overall in the most important hours, except for 7 o'clock for some reason. That's strange. But anyway, that's still pretty good. That drop down isn't terrible, and it still is justified to keep it open at that, you know, at 29 customers essentially. So I think that's all right. Not too bad for that first day. We're pretty good across the board on inventory and everything else. Our stock counts are still good, and this is, you know, at midnight at the end of the day. So we'll get the new delivery in at 2 o'clock and everything will be good. I didn't show you the pricing before. I meant to, and I forgot to, but now you can see it. So I just did the lowest market price in this case. The testing in all this is still fluid. I'm curious, and I may go back to it at some point, just as like an aside, if you will, to see if my pricing structure on the supermarket is why it didn't do as good as it did. And I'll just report that if, you know, even if I do that. You guys can mess around with that as well. This is mostly just to see how we perform on a business by business basis. So let's move on to day 10 and see where we're at. All right, folks, we are back at day 10. So fruit and vegetables, Deloads F&V. We had a revenue of $145,634.70 with a profit of $134,450.90. Nice. I think that's a pretty decent amount for what I'm selling. Just fruits and vegetables and salad. That's $134,000 a day. Seems pretty good. You know, that's a pretty good output there. Now, where does that put us on the rivals board? Currently, we're sitting at $869,000 for a weekly income, which frankly is pretty decent. It obviously doesn't put us at the very top, of course. Wehowever, it is still pretty solid amount, and you know, nothing to sneeze at, really, to be quite honest. Now that's just after 10 days. We're gonna see what 30 days brings, but as we can see here with the customers, we're still getting a very strange dip. So this is Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. For some reason, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday had 1,050, which correlates to what I was thinking was going to happen. And as we move up, I mean, it's exactly what I thought. It's 100 less per day versus the supermarket, which, don't get me wrong, I don't specifically understand why that's the case, but it's something that I've noticed in the past with the other businesses, is that there's always, like, the supermarket offers more things, so there's more incentive for people to come, and I think that's what brings that extra 100 people. That's it. Just like at a small location, those extra products that you get at a supermarket are probably the more desirable products, even though the demand's the same. You know, it just somehow brings it over. So yeah. Either way, we are now, I don't know why the interior says 91%. That's very strange. I'm just noticing this because before it's always been 100%. That's odd. Either way, whatever that may be, let's get some marketing going. Let's see how well this business can do now that it's going to have some extra marketing. We're hoping to at least, you know, of course, make up this. We're going to be spending $9,500 essentially on marketing altogether. So we're hoping that by doing this marketing, we at least make that back and then some. We don't want to just break even. That doesn't make any sense. So go back here one more time and we'll see the marketing is now 100% and the promotion score is, or we've always seen before, 97%. So let's get to day 30 and see what this place looks like with full marketing. All right, folks, so we're back, day 30, and I can safely say marketing is not worth it for this business. So my understanding is that marketing should have brought in more traffic, which it did, but the traffic is it's not good enough. So it bumped up the last few hours by about 15, 14, it looks like, actually, because I think it was 29, right? So 14. And that's great, but that's not enough. So if we're making 75 customers an hour without marketing, all the way until 8 o'clock, and then 9 to 11 being our slow hours, if you will. Marketing is not going to bring, like, having 20 more customers per hour is not going to offset the $9,500. So right off the bat, marketing is not worth it for fruit and vegetable at an M1 store. Over the last 7 days, we barely went over what our top was on day 10. So although 1,100 customers, 1,110 customers to be exact on day 41, that's great. Cool, we got more, but it's not that, it's 30 more customers. That's it. It's 30 more customers. It's not enough. It's just not. So I'm thinking in this case, we actually end up losing money, and I believe we will see that here. Yeah, we average less than what we were making. So every day we were making less than what we were making without marketing. Now, we made just a little bit more in terms of the revenue of the business itself. Well, of course, yeah, that went up because, I mean, let's be honest, it was marketing. But the overall profit of the business, that went down by pretty much $9,500. I think we were honestly around the top where we're going to see the fruit and vegetable store performing. So in this case, fruit and vegetable store, it's all right. You know, our weekly income actually ended up going down because of the $9,500 as well. So I guess, you know, take it as it is. Fruit and vegetable store is going to be your lower tier store that you're going to want to open up in an M1 location. You're probably not going to want to waste your time with it, essentially speaking, especially given marketing not doing much of anything at all. So I'm thinking marketing is going to be much more of an impact on the businesses where it's slower. So electronics store, I'm sure we'll see a pretty significant impact versus what we see obviously here, where the store is already topping out essentially. So I think it's a pretty good indicator that you're going to want to mostly stay away. Leave these to your C2s, C1s, D2, A1s, A2s, etc. So the smaller stores, I think that's where they shine, to be quite honest. All right, so we got to move on to the next store. It's going to be a coffee store or a coffee shop, and let's see what we can do there. So see you guys in just a moment. All right, folks, so we are now done with the interior of the coffee shop. It is an interesting one, that's for sure, but it works out. Everything is filled up. The inventory is all squared away. We got 2,000 of all inventory. Got our seating and everything is aligned, and we also have our employees. I've actually just taken it off of temporary closed because it is 2 a.m. on the day that we are starting, day 11. So day 11 to day 12 will be our first day. There's the inventory and pricing, just so you guys can see it. Oop, I accidentally did 1,600 on the donuts. I meant to do 2,000. I'll fix that here for tomorrow. But that being said, schedule, it's all 16 hours still, but I moved it over to 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. because I'm hoping that the way that HoveGuard has kind of computated, or I guess, you know, coded the coffee shop, in that there should be people coming in early in the day because it's, you know, 5 a.m. getting ready for the start of your day. Maybe you work the morning shift, stuff like that. So hopefully that's the case. If I need to, I'll move it around. We'll look and see what the numbers look like though here on day 1 and see how it goes, to be quite honest. So yeah, let's get day 1 started and let's meet up after that. Okay, day 1 is over and we are already looking at thankfully I was right. Now, I wasn't right in terms of the time. 5 a.m. seems to be not the best time. 6 a.m. seems to be the best time. So I may shift everything over in that case. But if you look here, 3 and 4 p.m. seem to dip. Then it goes right back up between 4 and 6. And then it starts dipping again. So perhaps it will help to move the hours over just a little bit. But we'll see how it pans out here. In terms of our income, didn't do very good on the first day, to be quite honest. If I can find it here. There we go. $70,000 in overall revenue with a profit of $59,000 on day 1. Now, I'm thinking it'll be better than that. I'm thinking we're also going to average before marketing, probably, hopefully floating around 900 to 1,000 customers, similar to the fruit and vegetable, but we'll see. We'll see how that pans out. But yeah, for now, not the best start. You know, 33,000. I understand we have all these extra expenses. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's plenty of extra on here, but it's a good gauge to see, you know, starting off 59,000 for the actual profit of the business. It's a little bit lower than what we're used to seeing on day one, but we'll see how it goes here on day 10. All right, folks, so we are back. It is now day 10. And things aren't looking very good. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's really not looking good. So starting off, we're making 128,000 in revenue, roughly between 127 and 120,000. I mean, you can see here on day 18, we made 127, but all that being said, 105,000 for the profit. And I've made sure, you know, I have dumped a ton of product on this place. So it has plenty of product throughout the day. I've made completely sure that that is the case. In the last 7 days, we've sold 27,000 donuts. That's a lot of product. I mean, hell, we sold 20,000+ of all the main products here. So you can imagine that we're selling quite a bit. And as you saw on the insight screen, I mean, overall wise, we're seeing between 1,000 and 900, just as I thought. Just as I thought. Now, this is still the same. I haven't changed the hours yet. Bear that in mind. And I don't think I'm going to, just because we started that way, and I'm going to leave it as is, to be quite honest. And we're going to see if these low points can be increased by the marketing. So that being said, with that, let's get some marketing on here. And again, just like last time, we're hoping that by adding marketing, we're going to make up that 9,500 we spend and then some. So we want to make more money every day. We're averaging between, ignoring the fact that we have a whole crap load of rented buildings, we're averaging between 100,000 a day. Now, obviously you can see it up here. It says 86,000 again, because that's all the rented stuff. So I'm going to go off these numbers in terms of whether or not this actually does make an impact, but we'll see overall how it works out. But let's get these set up here and meet back at day 30. All right, folks. So welcome back. I would say the marketing definitely helped, but it didn't make a massive difference. So first off, let's look at the last few days here. Day 41 being our, 30th day overall. So 140,000 in revenue there. You can see that we are kind of floating around this point for the most part. And, I was paying attention to the last few days as well, beyond day 38 here, just on the run up to day 30. And honestly, it's roughly the same profit wise. I mean, it really is not changing too much. I would say marketing is worth it in this particular regard, simply because it did increase the overall profit and we did make more money. I mean, you can even see it up here. 94,000 was yesterday after everything was said and done. So it does help, but is it worth it? I don't think so. Like, this business, I should say, is not worth being in an M1 location, so far as I can tell. I mean, we're looking at, 1,086 customers here. Yesterday, 1,035. Again, we're seeing the same exact dips and everything like that. So that's just consistent across the board. This is what it is. So, my pricing is good. They love my pricing. 100%, 100%, 100%. The only thing is cleanliness at 97%. That's not going to make a big difference. It's at 99% satisfaction. I mean, we're good. We're fine. It's just this business. I don't think it's worth putting this in an M1 location. Again, I think it's one of those things where the biggest you want to go is a C2. I wouldn't even put it in the D2 location. So, my opinion, of course, but yeah, I mean, it's all right. If we look at the rivals board, we're doing less than even the fruit and vegetable store. So it leaves a bit to be desired, to be honest, when it comes to a location like this. You'd think being within the same vein as fast food, it would be just as profitable, and that's just not the case. I mean, it does well enough selling. 30,000 cupcakes, 29,000 croissant, 28,000 cups of coffee, 28,000 donuts. I mean, that's over 7 days. That's a ton of product. It just doesn't have a great margin. So it is what it is there. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of surprising. Both these locations that we just saw, it's kind of surprising given the buffs to the fruit and vegetables and what I just said about how it's kind of like fast food, the coffee place. I'm a little bit bummed out these places didn't do as well as they did. I mean, it's a little bit surprising to me. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments what you think, if you were surprised whether or not these places even would do as good as they did, or if you expected it. I don't know. So yeah, let me know. Anyway, guys, thanks again for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying these little tests. I am trying to cook up something else. Like I said, I was going to do another run, but with offices in this case, that will be coming. But I do want to get through this first before we move on to that, of course. So thanks again for watching. And of course, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.